Imagine a nation divided, its people torn between deeply held beliefs, a country at the brink of collapse. This is the American Civil War, a conflict that changed the course of history forever. In the next 5 minutes, we'll dive into the key moments, people, and battles that define this pivotal chapter in American history. The seeds of the Civil War were planted long before the first shots were fired. By the 1800s, the U.S. was growing rapidly. In the North, industries were booming, and the abolitionist movement was gaining strength. But in the South, slavery was entrenched in its economy and culture. As America expanded westward, the question arose, should new territories allow slavery? The debate over slavery divided the country, and in 1860, the election of Abraham Lincoln, who opposed the expansion of slavery, was the tipping point. Southern states, fearing the loss of their way of life, began to secede from the Union. By early 1861, 7 states had formed their own nation, the Confederate States of America. And on April 12, 1861, the first shots of the Civil War were fired at Fort Sumter, South Carolina. The war started with high hopes on both sides. The Confederacy, defending its homeland, believed it could win. The Union, under Lincoln's leadership, fought to preserve the nation. Early on, the Confederacy won several key battles, including the First Battle of Bull Run. But the war soon became longer and bloodier than anyone expected. As the war dragged on, President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation in 1862. This bold move declared that all slaves in Confederate-held territory would be freed, adding a moral imperative to the Union's cause. By 1863, the Union began to turn the tide. At the Battle of Gettysburg, the Confederacy suffered a major defeat, and General Ulysses S. Grant secured victories in the West, splitting the Confederacy in two. After years of brutal conflict, by 1865, the Confederacy was on its last legs. General Robert E. Lee, facing overwhelming Union forces, surrendered to General Grant at Appomattox Courthouse on April 9, 1865. The war was over, but the end of the war didn't mark an easy road to recovery. The Civil War had claimed over 620,000 lives, and the nation was left to rebuild, physically, politically, and morally. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery, but the scars of the war and the question of civil rights would continue to affect the country for generations. The Civil War reshaped America, preserving the Union and ending slavery, but it also left deep divisions that would continue to challenge the nation in the years to come. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the American Civil War. If you found this video insightful, like, subscribe, and share for more history. Until next time.